Hey guys, welcome back to Music Talk with John. Today I'm continuing through my record collection, starting with the Dirty Knobs, a band put together by Mike Campbell of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. And I'm going to work my way through to the Drifters. And I found out a lot of information about some of the bands I'm going to be bringing up. And the Drifters, there's a song that they did that I recognize right away as another big hit in the 60s. And I'm not sure how this other band got away with doing what they did, but I'll be bringing that up in a little bit. So anyway, let's sit back, kick your feet up, and let's talk music. Okay, so we're starting off with the Dirty Knobs, and if you don't know what a dirty knob is, look it up, because I'm not going to explain that one to you. Anyway, this is a band that Mike Campbell put together. He was was the lead guitar player for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and I think all of Tom Petty's solo projects. Mike Campbell was always right there. And if you don't know, Mike Campbell actually wrote Boys of Summer, and he gave that to Tom Petty, and Petty didn't think it would work for his style of music or whatever it was, and he passed on it. And of course, Don Henley jumped on it, and it was a huge hit. So anyway, Mike Campbell wrote that. We're going to talk about his band here, the Dirty Knobs. They have 2 albums. The first one they put out here was in 2020. It's a 2-record set here, and this group was actually formed before Tom Petty passed away. Mike Campbell kind of had this band put together. I think they released something or did a little bit of recording somewhere way back, but they never released an album until after Tom Petty passed away. This is really good music here. Guitar driven, just rocking out in every minute here. A lot of riffs, and believe it or not, Mike Campbell, he's when he put this album out, he's 70 years old, so it's pretty amazing what this guy's rocking out at 70. So it gives me hope for the future. The guest star on here was Chris Stapleton. Chris Stapleton did a kind of a country-based rockabilly song called Pistol Packin' Mama. It's a good song. This album in particular is on black vinyl. Sounds good. Not a pop on it. Sounds great. The standout songs on here, I would say, are I Still Love You, Don't Knock the Boogie. I like that a lot. I think there's a Don't Knock the Boogie coda at the end. They just do a little thing. But Don't Knock the Boogie is a kind of a cool song. Just a silly one of those songs where you go into the bar and a lady invites a guy over and it's like, don't knock the boogie. Just like this cool, fun song. Don't Wait is another one, and Anna Lee I like a lot. And then he's got that song, I like it. It's talking about kind of like just people in society that aren't very nice, and it's called F That Guy, but it's not F. So, well, it is F. So, but I'm keeping this show, kid friendly, so family friendly. Anyway, so that's Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs. Great album, great guitar riffs, just good rock and roll album, solid all the way through. Not a bad song, no fillers on this one. So the next one is the follow-up album to that, and this came out in 2022. So here Mike Campbell is 72 years old. I want to know what his trick is, because the dude looks pretty dang good to me. So there's that. It's on black vinyl. Sounds good. Just rocks out. The only difference thing that he changed here was he actually put Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs. So I don't know what the change was there. But just another great album. He has two guest stars on this one, Ian Hunter, and I know I'd heard the name before, and I looked him up, and he was in a band called Mott the Hoople in the 60s, and I started listening to them, and it's good. I need to check out more Mott the Hoople. They were like a rock band. I don't know if they were considered psych or garage, but they weren't like a straightforward rock band, so they had a little bit more to them. But I really have to check them out, but I do like what I heard so far of Mott the Hoople. And then there's a song on here called State of Mind that he did with she's fairly new, I think. I haven't looked into her enough yet, but I did like she's a country singer. Her name's Margot Price, and it's, from what I heard, she doesn't sound like this contemporary pop country stuff that you're hearing on the radio. She sounded more like true country with a little maybe a rock edge to her. So I'll have to check her out a little bit. The big song on this for me, or one that's kind of stuck out for me, was In This Lifetime. It's just a nice ballad, but every song on here is great. There's not a filler, nothing, just straight good rock and roll, good riffs, hard, heavy when it needs to be, and lightens up when it needs to be. A lot of nice changes. So he put a lot of work into this. So I definitely check this out. That's the second album from Dirty Knobs, External Combustion. Now we're going to go to another band. This album came out in 1964, and this is the Dixie Cups, Chapel of Love. And you might be familiar with the song. It got a lot of radio play, and it's still very popular. You hear it on commercials. So they are from New Orleans, which was... I didn't know anything about them, and I did notice a difference between them and other girl bands of the 60s that like the Supremes. Every one of these songs, there's 3 ladies in here, and every one of these songs they sing together. It's all 3 of them. There's no front person, not like Diana Ross and the Supremes, where Diana Ross was, or Ronnie Spector, where they were up front and you had harmonies in the back. All these songs are all 3 of them singing every single song. So I found that pretty neat. And they weren't, like I noticed with girls groups of the 60s, there were a lot of orchestration and songs like that. These had some orchestration, but not a lot, and it sounded more like a band backing them up, so a different feel, I think. And there's not a bad song on here, just so you know. I enjoy this whole album. But Iko Iko is on here, and this song was released actually originally in 1953, and the actual title wasn't Iko Iko, it was Giacomo, and I believe they say Giacomo something in the song. So it was titled that before 1953 when it came out, and it really didn't take off at that time. But when the Dixie Cups did it, it was a big hit. And I looked at a little bit of history of it. Since the Dixie Cups are from New Orleans, I looked up the history, and it was the song itself is about a parade collision between 2 tribes of Mardi Gras Indians. I don't know what Mardi Gras Indians are. I haven't looked further into it, but that's what Iko Iko is about. So anyway, the Dixie Cups, Chapel of Love, definitely a good album. Nice 60s album there. Next we're staying on that New Orleans area. You have Fats Domino. And this album is actually one of the first albums I picked up when I started getting back into records. I found this at an estate sale, or I think it was an estate sale, because I remember going into the house. It wasn't a garage sale. Went into the house and actually found this, and I was happy because the vinyl, it's a 2-record set, and the vinyl is clean, and this thing plays really nice. Not even sure who the company is that put this together. It's CBS Records. Well, it kind of looks like an association with Columbia Records. So it sounds good. I was really happy with it. And I'd have to look and see what songs are, because it's interesting. The 2 albums are stuck inside this, and it's a very thin cover. Just thick enough not to fall apart on you. And it's kind of cool, like on the back, this is 1976, and on the back it has like records and 8-tracks that you can buy. How to order. It says send today for America's best musical buys. Specify whether you want 8-track tapes or the Treasury series number and prices, which are listed below. Just write us along with a check and money order payable to blah blah blah. So they're advertising all these with albums and 8-tracks. So 8-tracks for, I guess, the big thing there in the mid 70s, I guess. Anyway, so the songs on this are, let's see if I have it in the right order. I got 2 different things here, so who knows. I think actually when I got this, they didn't even have covers, and I just got what I had available. So I do need to change these out with better album covers. So songs you have on here are, let's see, let's go to side one. Songs like Blueberry Hill, Valley of Tears, Bull Weevil, Be My Guest, I'm Walking, I Want to Walk You Home, Walking to New Orleans, there's your New Orleans, My Girl Josephine, Let the Four Winds Blow, 3 Nights a Week. Anyway, it's Fats Domino is considered by some of the historians as the kind of like one of the pioneers of rock and roll, and his song "The Fat Man" was considered by historians to be sort of the first rock and roll song single to be released. So he's early rock and roll and kind of led the way. People like I think it was Elvis. Definitely Elton John were inspired by him, and just great musician, good music. Feel good stuff. Definitely like Fats Domino. I don't have any of his other albums, but I'm glad I have this one to at least get the hits covered. And then the last one I have here is, I don't know where they're from. I don't think they're New Orleans, but it's the Drifters. And most popular person from here, I think, that I know of is Benny King, who sang Stand By Me. And this is a compilation. This is the Drifters Golden Hits, and Benny King was on several of their songs, Under the Boardwalk, This Magic Moment, right? Is it just Magic? This Magic Moment, Save the Last Dance, For Me, Up on the Roof, Saturday Night at the Movies. So Benny King was the lead singer for those songs. What I recognized or noticed when I was listening to this, there's a song called I Count the Tears, and it came out in 1962. And I'm listening to this song and I'm going, this sounds really familiar, and it didn't hit me. There's a song, Let's Live for Today by the Grassroots, that came out in 1967. And there's no mistaking that the Grassroots took their chorus of na 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 live for today exactly dead on to I Count the Tears. It's na 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 na, and they say something else. The verses are a little bit different, but I'm telling you, it's dead on as far as that chorus of Let's Live for Today. So I looked around, Googled it, and people have been talking about it, but I didn't see anything about a lawsuit or any kind of legal problem with that. So I'm not sure. Not sure if they just took it or if they got the blessing of the Drifters. Who knows? But it's dead on. So if you check out those two songs, I Count the Tears and Let's Live for Today, it's dead on. So anyway, that's what I have for you today with the Drifters, ending it up right there. This is great. This album, black vinyl, not a pop, sounds good, nice and clean. So if you are looking into those harmonies and things like that of the 60s, definitely check out the Drifters. Definitely Under the Boardwalk and those other ones that I mentioned, the Up on the Roof. Those are really just good songs, good feel songs. I love it. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. So please hit the subscribe button, like button, leave me some comments. Been getting some good comments lately. One guy was very nice about it recently. He talked about Tom Jones. I had a couple of the albums, and I just said, yeah, it's just not for me. And this guy wrote me back. He's like, oh, I love Tom Jones. You gotta check him out. So he was nice to me, and kind of get on to me for not liking him, which I appreciate, because everybody has their opinion. So he did say his later stuff that came out in the 60s, not 60s, I'm sorry, later on, were more like soulful and bluesy. So I'll have to check it out and see if he changed. But anyway, thank you for watching. Hit subscribe, hit that notification button. Definitely leave me comments so I can talk to you. And you take care out there until I see you next time, until we talk music. You take care.